Yeah.
Alrighty. I have switched it to microphone on, and same with the gaming system audio capture. Let me just also adjust the volume here from the chat, just so that you guys are not gonna end up overcoming the audio here for Bioshock. Welcome, YouTube, for another Prayer Warriors podcast. I am Night Ninja the Fear of All, and welcome back to Bioshock. One of the creepiest games when you're a Christian. I mean, seriously, though. This game feels so hardcore creepy as a Christian. And I was creeped out by this game when I was a kid already, because I played the demo for this.
I'm right outside the submarine bay, but I can't get in. I'll need you for that. My family can't be more than 100 yards away.
It always throws me off when I'm PlayStation controller and my Oh, that's lovely. Whoops, just right there. Yikes. Oh! Fuck! Son of a bitch! This hacking minigame is actually kind of a fun little puzzle game, but man. I hate when you're just walking along thinking everything's all cool and then freaking boom! Auto turrets just absolutely screwing you crazy. Okay, now it's on my side. It still looks really good though for its time. I can't say it was probably outright released in 2008, but I played the demo for it back in 2008. The graphics here blew my mind.
Yeah. Well, a lot of stuff were released during the Afghanistan war. A lot over the span of like 20 years. Like,
We
that's
all
crazy,
come
bro.
down here. Figured we all be part of Ryan's great chain.
Telling me that a lot of
Turns
stuff,
out Ryan's
you know,
chain is made of gold.
we had a Republican as
And ours has a
president,
sort of
Michael Bay
big
was
iron ball around your
directing
ankle. He's up in
Transformers,
Fort Frolic
America
banging
was at war in the
fashion
Middle
models.
East.
We're down in this dump yanking guts out of fish.
Now all we gotta
Fontaine's
do is get
promising
rid of
something better.
minimalism and it's gonna
He's
feel like
like
you're in
one of
2000s,
us, you know? Like he's worked a
mid-2000s,
day in his
2000s.
life.
That's what it's gonna
He
feel
says
like.
meet him at his fish packing
Man,
joint
I
at
miss
11.
those times.
I'll go.
We
Bring a
should-
couple of guys.
We should
Hey,
bring
it's not like things could get a lot
America
worse.
back to reject minimalism and embrace creativity.
Yeah.
Like, bro, screw minimalism. I'm telling you that much.
I mean, I'll say this, minimalism is something that is only important for the sake of making sure that if you had to, you'd be surviving over having the bare minimum, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's more than important, I'd say.
Hmm.
So, like at the very least, too, you should simply have faith, though, for God to also help you through something like that if it ever came down to it, I'd say.
Yeah.
Hit the switch up there in the control booth and let me in. I think it's time to shake hands and get acquainted.
And I also gotta say, I gotta say, I've never really trusted my country.
You've had
much.
your fun, but enough is enough.
Yeah.
You press that button, you'll learn what it means to truly be my enemy.
Be his enemy, the guy who runs this place. That's so beyond messed up.
You blow a fuse up there! Can't see a damn thing in that booth! Give me a tick, and I'll get you out of there! Moira! Can you hear me in there, darling?
So, Arcady, if only your friend could look up and see. Maybe only you could do something, anything, except just stand here and watch him die.
Freaking
They're everywhere! I
Splicer.
can't hold them! Got to fall back!
All too
Get me
addicted to
family
that
out, and we'll regroup as soon as we can!
And another thing that we actually gotta be conscious of is like Zionism, because Christian Zionism is basically, you know, on the line of Christian evangelical population, and you know, Zionism is a you know, like it says in the Bible, we are in Christ, we are in Abraham's seed, heirs according to the promise. And then Genesis 12:3.
Turn down the audio here for this.
Oh no, it's good. It's
It's
good,
alright.
gang. Yeah,
I'm
but you
trying to
know,
also hear you guys too.
yeah. Like just know that Christian Zionism isn't biblical. Like, us Christians are the real Israel. And that's something I'll stand on until the very end of time. Right on. Yeah.
Come on. Come on. Hey, this is freaking Yikes. What's also really creepy is so many of these splicers literally sing biblical songs and whatnot. And yet they clearly do not know the significance of such a thing. Not even slightly. Which makes it extra creepy.
Spend the morning jawing with that
Yeah.
crowd scientist. She's damaged goods, alright. Just like all those chumps they scraped out of them prison camps. But she's no crackpot. She's gonna make me the kind of scratch that'll have Ryan look like he's running a paper route. She just needs some supplies to get the ball
cruise in like an assassin, and then
Yeah.
you try to sneak out like a thief. You're no CIA spook. Who are you? Why have you come here? There's two ways to deal with a mystery. Uncover it, or eliminate it.
Yeah. So you're supposed to be helping this guy named Atlas, who has family that he was trying
Get
to
out and get to Arcadia!
freaking
Jesus Christ!
family that he was trying to get out, supposedly with,
Yeah.
and well, it just continues to just become absolute no bueno-ness, if there is one way to put it.
Uh-huh.
It's such a creepy situation overall.
The Irish pork pie offered me a deal. I flip him Fontaine and I walk out of here. That simple. How do I know that fat fuck isn't Fontaine's guy? How do I know they're not all Fontaine's guy? Fontaine's got Adam, and everybody wants it. Ryan's got a whole lot of talk and a nice suit. Even down here, any idiot can see which way the wind is blowing.
Gotta also say, there is clearly a heavy, what's the word I'm looking for here? A heavy, an anti-communist message in this game. Especially when you first, come into this world, you see, the likes of the guy who established this world called, Andrew Ryan. And, he's all, is the man not entitled to the sweat of his own brawn? No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in, the Vatican, it belongs to God. And yet he also, I guess, says, no, says, the man in Russia, it belongs to everyone. I rejected these answers and I offered rapture.
Patrick,
Huh?
ain't that just like Ryan? Waits until we're almost out, and then he pulls the string.
Lots
We'll
of
find
media
the bastard. We'll find
released
him, and we'll tear his heart
during
out.
the Afghanistan war, which is pretty cool.
I came to this place to build the impossible. You came
Millions.
to rob what you could never build. A hub gaping at the gates of Rome. Even the air you breathe is sponged from my account. Well, breathe deep. So later you might remember.
You get to the bathysphere in the rolling hills. That'll take you straight to the devil himself. And then all debts will be paid in full.
And, thing is, you also end up seeing a lot of these, Christians who are literally killed on their way in trying to smuggle stuff like, right here, you see. Look at all these, crucifix. Like, you have crucifix, you have holy Bibles, and they just call them smugglers and literally kill them. Even, practically, making them look like they got freaking crucified on a cross, kind of, position like Christ himself. All that combined just really adds to the creepiness of this whole setup, honestly.
Seems like some poor blighters have started seeing ghosts. Ghosts? Ryan tells me it's a side effect of this.
Yeah, man, the Bible is living.
One poor sod's memory is getting passed
You
on
know?
to another through genetic sample.
Amen.
The Bible is living, it's alive, bro.
Lunatics, rebellion, and now bleeding ghosts. Ain't life in Ratchet Rag?
Yeah, except, let's be real, it probably is nothing remotely grand.
Christ, is somebody there?
Oh yeah, and you got some that even freaking teleports. That's just freaking creepy.
Hello.
Alright, I'm about to pull out my live stream.
Also, this game franchise was made by the same team that was known for another FPS classic on PC that was called System Shock. I never played it myself, but I always heard people talk positively of it.
Hey, over here!
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah. From my understanding, people talk positively quite a bit, but I really have yet to check it out myself. At the very least, it's one of those games you can get through GOG easily enough, if you've heard of that game store for PC. Trying to see if I can spot this teleport pile. Damn it! Where the hell did he go? Jeez. Let's grab this real quick. You basically have a magic system, as you can see here with the plasmids. And I got 4 right now. Electrobolt, Winter Blast, Incinerate, and Telekinesis. And adds to the gameplay to make it more than just a standard shooter. There we go. Houdini Splicer. Yeah, because might as well call him Houdini. So freaking
Okay, so now I'm watching it.
And just know that Jesus Christ loves you. Make sure to repent, pray, drink some lemonade, read the Bible every day. There's no sin too great or too dirty that the blood of Christ cannot cleanse. Free Palestine, and God bless you all.
Aw, man, he doesn't even give us a chance to say goodbye.
Well, I guess that just happens when people were far too busy doing other stuff, generally. I do my best to try and be someone who tries to show at least some form of understanding, especially as it is definitely important for us to show a sense of empathy outright, trying to put ourselves in others' shoes and, well, show them
Today,
that we
Arcadia
can
was closed off to
care to
all but
understand.
paying customers.
The man hires me to build a forest at the bottom of the ocean and then turns a walk in
That's
the
right.
woods into a luxury. Riot asked, should a farmer not be able to sell his food?
I totally get what you
Is a
mean there.
potter not entitled to a profit
Now-
from his pots?
Which one of those skills
I started
was
to argue with the man,
the
and
electric
then
power's
I
coming from?
remembered who
Electric
signed
one, it's
my
called
checks.
Electrical.
The only thing worse than a
Aw.
hypocrite is an unemployed
It makes me
one.
want to rant one of my characters.
It also kind of reminds me of the time that I grew up playing, because I played this and a couple other demos around the same time. Specifically, it makes me think of what's probably one of my favorite superhero games called Infamous on PS3. Did you ever hear of
Wow. I might have heard it once or twice.
Well, the whole concept is that you're this superhero with electric abilities, and it has a karma system where you choose whether you want to do the right thing or the wrong thing, and get different abilities depending on if you want to be the hero or the villain. That being said, though, it's clearly a situation where the game is, I think, a lot more engaging with the hero storyline. And not only is it so much more engaging with the hero storyline, I believe, but it also had it was still a original character. It wasn't the likes of a superhero that already existed, like Superman or Batman or Spider-Man, so on and so forth. He was a wholly original superhero character, and the original game wasn't that.
Oh.
What just sucks, though, is that they still haven't gone out of their way to give us, for example, the likes of any what's the name here? Remasters. You know what I mean by a remaster, right? Where
Yeah,
where
I
the
do.
game just basically gets a bit of a polish to look nicer. This is a remaster for Bioshock right here, specifically.
Oh. You're not hearing your stream on my phone, are you?
You're what?
I'm watching the stream on my TV right now.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't know if you.
Well, definitely I appreciate it.
Oh yeah. I like watching this.
You're a
Damn it! You'll have to forgive me for having a bit of a mouth sometimes. I said it before earlier. I grew up with a pair of parents who definitely have mouths, and because of that, ended up having quite the mouth early on.
Yeah. My parents kind of did too, but they always encouraged me just not to repeat what they said. And then when I tried to fit in really hard in high school, it was a, yeah.
It was the opposite happening quite fast.
And then I got right with God and I just stopped, pretty much.
Like, for me, I've been trying to not be too much of a cursing fool, but at the same time, it's a little hard to not cuss so much.
Huh? Yeah. Sorry, I'm watching it and it's like a full minute behind and I'm hearing myself talk.
It's
Um,
okay.
yeah. But I'm also just like immersed in the gameplay right now. I'm sure my boyfriend wanted me to play this at some point, and we just never got to.
This is such a trip of a game. The problem now is the shortage of hosts, characters, especially the big twist that comes at the end.
The first home for little sisters will open,
Yeah.
and that problem will be solved.
But this reminds me a little bit of We Happy Few, which I've seen gameplay of before.
Yeah,
Well,
I've seen
tonight
gameplay
I
of
got
We Happy Few
lined
as
up.
well, and I'm not
Everything's
sure
ready.
of
Flowers, bottle of wine, even
if I
2
should
tickets to
play
the tea
it at
garden.
some point or not.
Nothing gets to
It's
Betty's
at
in
least
the
trippy
mood
looking,
like
that's for
nighttime
sure.
in Arcadia.
Because I'm
Now I
definitely
just gotta
interested
stop
in
by the thrifty care to pick up a
dystopian
med
settings in a lot of games.
just to be safe.
But
Word is, this ain't Angelina's first visit to the tea
Oh.
garden.
when it comes to dystopian concepts, there are quite a few engaging ones in games, I'd say. Like one that I still really, really love from this era is also a first-person game. It was called Mirror's Edge. Did you ever hear about that one?
I don't think I've heard that one before.
So, at the core of its gameplay, Mirror's Edge essentially has gameplay focused around basically doing a bunch of parkour gameplay.
Oh.
And you know what I mean by parkour, right?
Yeah.
Then you know generally what I mean by the likes of that. Because it's fully in first person and it makes it feel super immersive.
Yeah.
And it was in another dystopian reality that was clearly also a anti-communist kind of message to it as well.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to this game and its storyline, it's really hard to not look at this and go, yeah, this is clearly meant to be anti-communism here being represented. Because even though the guy in the beginning is talking about how the sweat of your brawn is fully all for you here. But then in
Bleeding!
Psycho. Okay, I think she's dead. Because he talks about being entitled to the sweat of your own brawn, almost as if he's trying to be an anti-communist message, and yet at the same time, you end up hearing about all these people who join this this city, and immediately they're like, wow, so immediately he's seeking all these taxes, even though he told us in the beginning of us coming in here, you're entitled to sweat your own blood. So go ahead and just enjoy your own hard work. And you're just like, yeah, no, you're full of garbage claiming that, bro.
Wow.
It's very engaging
Oh.
overall with that, and like I said, there's also quite the story that leads up to this
Yeah.
what's the word I'm looking for here? A plot twist.
Oh, yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that would be part of why your boyfriend, I don't know if he's still your boyfriend or not, if that would be part of why he wanted you to be given this a shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at the same time, it's, man, it really is a trip of a story.
Yeah. I think he's tried to tell me about the lore before. It's pretty cool.
The lore is definitely trippy.
This puzzle going on definitely reminds me of Secret of the Mimic. I don't know if you're familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's or not.
Secret of the what?
Secret of the Mimic. It's a Five Nights at Freddy's game.
Oh.
I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I'm familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's to at least some degree, but granted, that's because I just go out of my way to... If I see any of it at all, it's mainly because I'm seeing others play it.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, I really can't bring myself to want to play Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
But, like, mainly because from the get-go, they were always creepy as hell looking. the likes of animatronics, and then it being a horror all about animatronics, I was like, yeah, yikes. No thanks. I'm a pass.
Don't you disrespect
Oh!
Yeah.
You also use this camera here to basically make your attacks against the enemy powerful. But for sure, definitely when it comes to those animatronics, I was always not digging it. Because while I enjoyed going to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid for the arcade, everything else I was like, yeah, I'm a pass on the animatronic stuff. Hardcore.
Yeah. I get what you mean. Here's one that he did let me try though. Have you ever played the Outlast series?
Outlast, I may not have played it, but I saw Markiplier play it, and it was definitely creepy too.
Yeah. So here's a weird story. I was playing Resident Evil 8 and I was scared of like everything that I had to shoot. And then after my boyfriend made me play the first game in its entirety, like I went back to Resident Evil 8 and I was just like blasting things. It was like
You know, I have played Resident Evil as well. Now, granted, I'm not a fan of the classic gameplay, personally speaking.
yeah.
But I enjoyed the gameplay of the remakes for Resident Evil 2 and 3.
Huh.
And if I had to say what was my first Resident Evil, it was Resident Evil 4. The original Resident Evil 4. Did you ever play that one?
I haven't. I really only watched gameplay of like Resident Evil 7 and 8, and you know the DLCs for them.
Wow. Honestly, if you were ever open to it, you you could end up walking away really enjoying Resident Evil.
Yeah, I think I know like the plot of it. I just like I never really immersed myself in it.
The plot of Resident Evil 4 specifically was kind of like a direct sequel to Resident Evil 2, since you're playing as Leon Kennedy, one of the main characters of Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
And he was placed to basically be a personal bodyguard of the president in this timeline, and also he was then save the president's daughter by
Oh.
and legit had the Cold legit had the likes of they were using this virus that was literally a parasite that mind controlled.
Wow.
And in the gameplay, when you're taking on the enemies, if you shoot their heads off, they could fall down, or literally the parasite sprouts out of their freaking severed head.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's freaking gnarly, dude. No joke.
Just a bad corner.
To where, if what systems do you own personally?
Well, I don't really own anything except for mobile. I mean, I used to have a 3DS and like a Wii U and a Wii way back in the day, but my boyfriend has a PS5.
Well,
He also has a PS.
It should at least be on the PS5, the likes of the HD release of Resident Evil 4.
Okay.
And they also recently remade it, and while I haven't played it yet, I have at least heard that it's generally decent. It's just, when it comes to these newer releases, they love to hold back content as DLC, and because of that, I tend to suggest the older games usually, but that's just how I am.
Yeah.
I mean, mainly because I feel like a lot of these game companies nowadays, they just don't respect us as customers, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of these companies just go out of their way to do the whole microtransaction stuff, which at least made sense for games that were free to play. But when you like already are paying especially $60 to now $70 for a game brand new, it's really, really, really just greedy. Bottom line, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And
yeah.
Usually the older games just are now not only cheaper, but they aren't their way to literally hold back all this content that was already supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And I also feel so strongly about this because what used to be one of my favorite developers ended up doing some pretty BS crap against their this one developer used to be my favorite, called Square Enix. You might have heard of them before?
Probably not.
Well, they're mainly known for two franchises that are some of their most popular franchises easily. The likes of Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest.
Huh.
Have you ever heard of either of those?
I've heard of Final Fantasy. Dragon Quest, maybe.
One of the things that makes Dragon Quest pretty well known to nerds is the fact that Dragon Quest, the art of it is done by the creator of Dragon Ball.
Oh, okay.
So, because of that, the game literally makes people think of Dragon Ball usually because of that, and understandably so.
Yeah.
But I have yet to play Dragon Quest myself. That being said, sorry, I was just trying to look at what I could make here. But Final Fantasy, that I have a lot of experience with, and sadly Final Fantasy 15 ended up being a game that ripped me and many others off, if I'm being blunt.
Oh.
As it was a game that was in development since the likes of early PS3 days, where they literally announced it with the PS3. And not only did it never come out on PS3, but that's the Big Daddy right there that protects the little sisters. They're kind of not easy to take down.
Oh yeah, he told me about that. Yeah, he's told me a lot about it, but I never looked up gameplay or anything about it. But watching you play it is pretty cool. It is a trip. I really like the floral areas, definitely.
And this it may be just for this area, but the whole theme is that we're in an underwater city. Because right here you can see that we're underwater. See fish just swimming on by. And it definitely gives it a unique feel to it. Just let the Big Daddy mess with that one. Just loading this up with probably what I'll want.
Where are you going?
How about Psycho? Jeez. Alright. Guess it's time to take on this Big Daddy. They are not easy. Basically, the more that you can go out of your way to take pictures of them, the more you can research them and literally do better with being able to attack them and all that. Oh! sisters, they call him Mr. Bubbles. And then you can rescue or harvest them. Harvesting them kills them. Rescuing them, well, changes them back into real little girls.
Wow. I guess it's harder to,
Even in the gathering dark, you
rescue
light a
them
candle.
than it is to
You have
harvest them.
saved the little ones when you might have shown your cruelty. I am sending something your way to
No,
demonstrate
man.
our fight.
Yeah.
I just watched you. Ooh.
And the little girls literally send you gifts occasionally, which is just...
Oh. That's sweet.
Yeah. Genuinely, this game gets especially pretty, emotional at the end, if you,
Wow.
so, yeah. You, continue to grow stronger thanks to, taking on the big daddies. They're not easy, but they are worth, taking on in order to get these upgrades. As you can see. Gene Banks, you're able to switch your stuff around. These hacking minigames are fun, but also really challenging if you're not fast enough. Because
Oh yeah.
if you're not careful enough, you also end up dealing with it either giving you damage or calling security on you, which is in the form of robots and whatnot.
There has been tremendous pressure to regulate this plasmid business.
Yeah,
There
get
have
him.
been side effects, blindness, insanity.
Ooh,
death.
ooh. You're doing
But
it
what
quick.
use is our ideology if it is not tested? The market does not respond like an infant, shrieking at the first sign of displeasure. The market is patient, and we must be too.
Shoot. Freaking those. No. Frick! Frickin' teleporting frickin' splicer. Man, I hate those things.
Let me see if I can get. I'm gonna go right back to the stream and see if it's taking me any further ahead.
Okay. I mean, admittedly,
Okay.
I have a bit of a delay on the stream for the fact that
Rolling Hills is over yonder, and the bathysphere station is as well. And then straight on to Ryan.
Okay. Okay, now I'm at the part where you're randomly getting fireballed.
yeah, frickin' hate those frickin' Houdini splicers. I'm trying my best to not just be a frickin' a cussing fool, but it is a little bit hard sometimes, just being real.
Yeah. I'm gonna get with. Excuse me.
Bless you.
I'm good. Thank you for
Darling!
where'd you go? What? Ah! There you are. Hi.
Sport boost. Sends it reverts to be a little faster, a little quicker on the draw. But you don't have to outrun the Gray Spicer, just your neighbor. That's so messed up.
Wow.
Who is that? Nobody shares in on me. This isn't taking me time or money.
You can tell that these splicers are just totally out of their mind because they freaking literally, like, just went out of their way to, just become total drug addicts practically over the likes of the whole freaking Atom stuff.
Yeah.
And because of that, they freaking, they just come off absolutely psychotic. Down to how they do have the likes of, they have the likes of masks that I will say actually reminds me of We Happy Few. Despite having not played it myself, it is very similar when you think about it like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, uncivil, uncool.
Let's see. You freaking killed me? You pile of garbage? There we go. That one's down for the count.
Nobody invited you.
Welcome to the circus. Welcome to the circus of value.
Also creepy how the freaking the store literally has a freaking clown as the mascot. But
Yeah.
you know, let's be real, clowns are creepy to fucking begin with.
Yeah. They are pretty creepy.
And
You ever...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, have you ever, like, encountered a clown?
A few times.
I don't recall ever encountering a clown unless I was, like, super little. Except unless it was, like, a circus or something.
The only time I ever encountered clowns was mainly due to the fact that in this city that was nearby where I grew up, they had a they had a casino in the town or the city of Reno, and it was called Circus, so it had a freaking full-on circus thing. What's the matter? You look like you went into the goose. You're a nobody! I hate the lights of clowns so damn much.
Huh. What do you think about Joker? I know Joker's not a clown, but like as we were talking about this, I was looking at the Joker meme.
Oh boy. Yeah, Joker is also creepy, of course, but that's in part due to the fact that he's a psycho villain in Batman, you know?
Yeah.
That being said, though, did you ever hear how... I want to say that someone said this was like in the Book of Enoch or something, that supposedly, like in the Bible in the first place, giants existed, right?
Yeah.
Well, did you ever hear about how giants apparently looked like clowns?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so no wonder people don't fucking like clowns. Let's be real here.
Bro, does that mean that David beat Goliath, who looked like a clown with a sling or whatever it is, like a gun or something?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Freaking makes that stuff just extra creepy to me. And I already found the likes of that crap creepy to begin with. So it just only gets worse when you have that in mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the surface, I once bought a forest. The parasites claimed that the land belonged to God and demanded that I establish a public park there. Why? So the rabble could stand slack-jawed under the canopy and pretend that it was paradise Earth. When Congress moved to nationalize my forest, I burnt it to the ground. God did not plant the seeds of this Arcadia.
I freaking hate these turrets so much. They have automatic turrets that can even shoot freaking rockets on you, which is never fun. But I don't know, that might just be the fact that I don't like the idea of being hit by a freaking RPG out of freaking nowhere because freaking turret just decides, oh, enemy! Fuck.
Oh.
There's some way of being able to... seem to find... Freaking turrets so much.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. They're so annoying in all of these games.
Yeah, that's putting it lightly.
Yeah. There's this game on Roblox that I used to play a bunch. It was Brutal Company, and it like, you know, it has some like Bioshock like levels or worlds to it. And I was actually pretty good at it, but sometimes I just die. Yeah.
I don't think I actually have this on the hardest difficulty, but I have beaten it on the hardest difficulty, and it was so frustrating. Pretty sure this is meant to be one of the big daddies that I'm supposed to kill for the little sister. At least I think so. Well, at least I got increased damage, though.
What is the... So when you kill yourself by injecting that stuff... That reminds me of a different game, but I can't tell what game.
Oh,
it might
God. The freaking turret helped me. Okay, and it didn't have a little sister. Well, I at least got some decent money from it.
Andrew Ryan reminds us we all
Welcome to the circus of value.
choices, but in the end, our choices make us.
Open the door. Kind of annoying how most of the doors open automatically, so half the time they aren't really keeping themselves open properly.
Yeah. Opening your... Anyway, yeah. I keep hearing these things like RPG and frag grenade, and I keep thinking about the final. Gosh, I really like the final. Anyway, yeah. If you want me to, I can tell you a little bit about it.
I'd be down for that. After all,
Okay,
I appreciate
it's
you being invested in my story that I've shared too so far.
Yeah, of course.
The minute we came here, Masha started screaming.
Yeah, it seems like a really interesting premise so far.
I thought she was
Anyway, so it's a first-person shooter that also happens to use the environment to its advantage because, you know, with all of these... Oh, I'm hearing myself rant. Let me turn myself down. Anyway, so, as I was saying, there's like a wide variety of weapons that you can use in order to like demolish the arena to your advantage. Unique premise. It feels a little bit like capture the flag, but also not, because you've got like a cash out and a vault. So you have to activate the vault and then put it in the cash out station and then protect the cash out and keep the other teams from stealing the cash out, sort of. And then if you get like a certain amount of money before the other teams do, then you win, pretty much. Apparently the lore of the game is kind of set like in 2030 or something in the future. Probably like 2100-ish, and like people are like so immersed in this game. It's apparently like VR, but I don't think it actually has a VR adaptation. But and they call the living world, they call the real world meat space, which is kind of weird.
That's definitely strange.
Yeah, but you can play as 3 different classes: light, medium, and heavy. Light, they're fast and they have low health, but like their weapons hit hard. Pretty much, mediums have like a wide variety of weapons or like things. They're mainly support. Like they have a dematerializer, a jump pad, a zip line, um, like lots of other stuff. And then heavies, they're the tanks. They move slow, but they hit hard. And like you can even use a heavy to like demolish a wall if you wanted to.
Interesting. I mean, it's definitely
Yeah.
interesting to have a destructive environment for the sake of doing something like that.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
definitely, man. Admittedly, though, when it comes to shooters, it kind of depends on. It depends on the shooter sometimes for me, because admittedly, when Call of Duty was just the biggest thing ever, I felt like people kind of talk it up a little too much all the time. The only thing that I actually really, really like about Call of Duty is the Nazi zombies modes.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so engaging, especially with the storyline that you end up seeing in those games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when you're also a Christian and you look at how freaking the demons are practically coming straight out of hell, and and you just gotta somehow survive with your buddies best you can.
Yeah.
And
that's for sure.
And I will also say I definitely liked Halo, especially for the story, because the story for Halo was very engaging.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I wasn't too big on shooters, mostly because a lot of it was boiled down to people just playing the multiplayer and nothing but. And by then I was more engaged in other multiplayer experiences. Like, I grew up on the PS3, so one of the games that I played a lot online was called Little Big Planet.
I've heard of that. And
it was something that probably added to how much I wanted to be a game developer, actually. Due to how in the original you're able to just simply make your own levels. But in the second one, they added in all these mechanics where you're able to make your own games through it.
Wow.
Now, the games, however, are 2D in nature usually. But despite that, it was still very, very engaging overall. Down to where it was like just one of the games that I played the most online and made a lot of friends back then on PlayStation Network. You know, back when playing games online was actually free on consoles that weren't Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
But since then, freaking Little Big Planet hasn't really come back since Little Big Planet 3, which was like the tail end of the PS3 generation and the start of PS4 when that came around.
Yeah.
And since then, it hasn't really returned. And it's only a bummer because it was actually a pretty engaging time to play that with friends and all that. And not to mention, in general, I always thought PlayStation had the better exclusives, if only because they had more variety back then. Like, you did have Crash Bandicoot, you had Spyro, and then you also had stuff that was a bit more for older audiences, like Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Did you ever check out that one?
I didn't.
Okay. That one also.
Wait, which?
Twisted Metal. It also had a clown as the freaking mascot for it. But it was just basically vehicular combat. And all these different characters had different vehicle types, and because of that, they were great at some things, not at others. But all the characters were competing in what was called Twisted Metal, a competition of vehicular combat, and the one who won, they got whatever wish they wanted. And each and every character had this super messed up past or present, and they had this one thing that they're being tormented by practically. So they did Twisted Metal for the sake of then at the end going, I want this thing that I'm being tormented by to be taken away, please. And usually the guy who was supposed to grant them their wish always flipped it around on them every single time without fail. And it was very engaging back then as a kid, and as a Christian especially. You look back at it and you see how creepy it is overall, on top of how much it comes off like making a deal with the devil. How the devil is all, oh yeah, I'll totally give you so and so, this and that. But then he turns it around on you in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And Twisted Metal was something that was around since the PS1. There was like about 4 games, I want to say, on just the PS1 alone. And then there was about 2, maybe 3 PS2 entries. And then there was just one on PS3. And since then, they haven't even made a new one. Admittedly, they definitely abandon a lot of stuff these days for usually stuff that just seems very. If there is one way to describe what a lot of games feel like nowadays, it feels very repetitive. Because usually games nowadays are only going to be open world, only going to look realistic, only going to be this, that, and the other, only going to be first-person shooter multiplayers. You get the idea.
Yeah.
And especially, I don't know how you feel about this, but I imagine being a Christian, you might understand how I feel here. How much they push all this LGBTQ stuff and just this stuff that people have coined the term being woke-tarded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by that, right?
Yes, I know what you mean.
Because thing is, also when it comes to women, I do my best to show genuine respect. But nowadays, they try to, in this woke-tarded age, they try to make it come off as if feminism never actually achieved anything.
Wow.
And practically as if we don't respect women this day and age. And it's so weird, honestly, especially because you have situations like this this one developer I used to love, honestly, growing up, Naughty Dog. They are known for Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, Uncharted, and most recently, they're known for The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah.
So, thing is, the studio was founded by a pair of brothers, Andy and Jason, and they made Crash Bandicoot and Jak and Daxter. But then who made Uncharted, or at least the original Uncharted's, and also the original Last of Us, she was the studio head and director, Amy Hennig.
Mm-hmm.
And now the guy who runs it, his name is Neil Druckmann. And this guy specifically literally chased out Amy Hennig.
Wow.
He chased her out, and then the first thing he does is the DLC story for The Last of Us. As I'm not sure how familiar you're with the story for Last of Us.
I'm somewhat familiar with it.
So you'd at least be somewhat familiar with Ellie and how she got infected,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So you'd also be familiar with how she was infected alongside a friend of hers, and that her friend ended up actually becoming a zombie while she didn't, and that was her drive for trying to give up her life to end the apocalypse, so that they could use her DNA to somehow create a cure.
Yeah.
And so he immediately did the DLC story that showed Ellie's story with her friend. And literally at the end of the DLC, he made it to where these two preteen girls started out of nowhere making out with each other.
Yeah, ha 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 ha.
And and then in Uncharted 4, he makes Nathan Drake come off as a piece of shit for putting these like these steroid abusing lesbian kind of characters on pedestals instead. And that's even what happened with Last of Us 2. Where Ellie is now a grown adult and she has a girlfriend, and you literally see sex scenes with Ellie and her girlfriend.
Wow.
And again, this is a character that started out as a preteen, which just makes the guy come off as a total creeper. Especially as he also goes out of his way to basically try and give crap to everyone who has pointed out that this guy's a creeper by going, "You're all just sexists." Meanwhile, he chased out the original studio head before him, who was a woman.
Wow.
Wow. I mean, isn't that just ridiculous?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you see, that's my point with a lot of this woke-tarded age too, because they've even ruined even franchises that we used to genuinely trust with kids. Like, I used to trust Marvel a good bit, but under Disney,
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
Like, I don't know how familiar you are with X-Men specifically.
I'm not too familiar with it, but I know some of the basics. Like, I know Wolverine, and I know a little bit of the plot, I guess.
Okay. Well, So Wolverine had always this love triangle with two different characters, and it was a love triangle because him and this other guy liked the same girl. The other guy being Cyclops, the guy who has the glasses that blocks his laser eyes.
Yeah.
And the girl is Jean Grey, who has like telekinesis and other mind reading powers and whatnot.
Yeah.
So literally, the new version of X-Men, the new comic under Disney, literally has him in a 3-way bisexual relationship.
Oh wow.
And literally you have Wolverine and Cyclops now embracing each other like they're about to get it on like a bunch of homosexuals. Which is just hardcore, especially because when you know the characters, you know that they would have never been that way.
Yeah.
And they also freaking pushed this stuff pretty hardcore once Stan Lee died, who was the creator of the majority of characters from Marvel. Like, he was especially the creator of Spider-Man. And he sadly freaking died of being abused by his own family in his old age.
That's sad.
Especially because he actually tried to go public about it and get help. But instead they sent him back to his family, and his last public words were, "I just want to go home and die."
Oh my god.
Which only breaks my heart because I had a lot of respect for that guy, especially with Spider-Man. Because, Spider-Man was kind of like my first superhero introduction with the Sam Raimi movies that you might remember. Where Tobey Maguire played the character. And,
yeah.
And I always respected him for the likes of stuff like teaching kids with great power comes great responsibility. That was genuinely a good lesson to teach kids. And definitely it's a bummer that he got abused during his last days. And the minute that he died, they freaking started that new X-Men with freaking bisexual relationships. Which is just hardcore.
Wow.
It's a trip, the age we live in, huh?
Really is.
And I'm glad that I have even more people to talk to about this because I always did my best to try and at least be respectful to people who happen to be LGBTQ or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the very least, God gave us free will for a reason. And because of that, consenting adults are free to do whatever they want. That being said, kids need to be left the hell alone.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when it's blowing my mind that Blue's Clues would come back recently and do a Pride Parade sing-along hosted by a real-life drag queen.
You gotta be kidding me. No.
I wish I was, because I grew up with Blue's Clues. I grew up with the OG Steve era.
I think I did too.
So
yeah.
See it come back and that be what they're pushing just broke my heart as someone who actually, you know, like that was like an innocent kind of era of my childhood, you know?
Yeah.
And that alone is messed up. You also freaking have iCarly coming back with lesbian relationships now. After it was also pretty gnarly to hear from Jeanette McCurdy how the guy who made iCarly and all the other sitcoms was a creeper with a foot fetish.
Yeah, Dan Schneider's not cool.
Yeah. I guess we kind of started to turn this into a bit of a conversation more than me playing the game at this point, but it does mean a lot to have people who are afraid of having these conversations too, because it blows my mind how many are so afraid of having those conversations that they practically go psycho, like these freaking splicers do in Bioshock. I mean, I imagine you may have heard about Charlie Kirk, who recently got murdered. Are you familiar with that guy? Rose? Rose? Rose, can you...
Hey, I'm back.
Oh.
Yeah, I said I would be right back. I was
oh,
doing
sorry.
something
I
real quick.
honestly didn't hear you say that. I'm sorry about that.
Well, it's okay. What were you talking to me about?
Just that these people who just can't handle conversations that honestly need to happen these days. It's disappointing because I have a lot of friends who have been in the LGBTQ even.
Yeah.
And so many of these people just freaking... They go full psycho mode when you try to have these conversations, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's so weird. Some, like
they might as well be going psycho like the freaking splicers in Bioshock.
Yeah. Yeah.
And definitely, I guess, when it comes to what I want to do with Night Ninja, that I've shared with you here, so much of it is that I want to point out the biblical truth through it. I want to point out conspiracies that are legit happening through it, too. And,
Yeah.
And I still want it to be something that could still be, to some degree, a positive impact for kids too. Because sadly, that's just not what we have with Marvel anymore. Thanks to Disney, especially.
Yeah.
Like, we don't get that anymore with Marvel, and we're not even getting that with DC usually anymore either.
Yeah.
And I say that as someone who had tried to engage with DC, some of the newer DC stuff, and was pretty disappointed in a lot of the stuff that they've put out nowadays too.
Yeah.
It's crazy because like I don't even freaking feel like if I had kids in the future, I would find it no big deal to show them even the original Blue's Clues. If only because then they could freaking be told by someone else who didn't care, hey, want to watch Blue's Clues? Sure! Wait, what's this Pride Parade stuff?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I mean, I mean, it's honestly how I feel, because like I probably couldn't show them SpongeBob, because I wouldn't be surprised if SpongeBob's pushing that stuff now, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's probably hardly anything that you could show kids now that wouldn't include this crap. And
right.
And not only that, but admittedly myself, when I finally became a Christian, it was through my mom specifically going, "You realize this is history, right?" And I was like, "Wait, what? History? You're kidding, right? This is legit history? You mean like all this stuff in the Old Testament happened and the New Testament happened legit? This isn't just a story that someone came up with to encourage good morals?" And
I know, right?
And it blew my mind, especially because I was such a nerd, and then I am also seeing, wow, it's reflected in every piece of fiction that I ever was engaged in. It's reflected in Star Wars. It's reflected in Final Fantasy. It's reflected in Bioshock. It's reflected in Metal Gear. It's reflected in Infamous. It's reflected in Call of Duty. It's reflected in freaking Sonic the Hedgehog at times even. It's reflected in Marvel. It's reflected in DC. It's reflected in The Matrix. It's reflected in... It goes on and on and on. And the minute that I realized that... I realized that if I can do Night Ninja right, I could actually bring people to Christ because they're going to approach it in the first place thinking it's just, it's just fun fiction. But they're going to see the biblical truth be reflected through it and taught to them legitimately in many ways. And then they actually really reflect on this stuff and they're like, wow, okay, I'm changed over this.
Yeah. You know what? That's good to it's good to strive for that goal. Definitely.
And I'll definitely admit I definitely was not some perfect person, especially before Christianity. I even had a bit of an ego, and admittedly, because of my addiction, and I'll leave it as that for my stream here, I wasted my life a lot of the time, and I look back at how much I wasted my life, and I honestly wished that I knew so much earlier in life, to where I could have really taken, especially those years that I wasted, seriously.
Yeah, I agree.
It really does weigh heavy on my heart, admittedly, though, how much I wished that I didn't waste my life like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good that you don't have to waste that time anymore. And you get to spend it doing things that are meaningful. And things that bring you closer to God.
I mean, I know this. I feel like a secular media breakdown was put on my heart for a reason. Because this whole concept, I feel like, is supposed to bring a lot of people to realizing what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially regarding the content of what we play and what we watch.
Because when you really do break it down practically everywhere before you, it's even mind-blowing to yourself, even if you are already a Christian. Oh, hey!
What's up?
Hi.
Hey, this is my friend that I introduced you to earlier. Josh, this is May or Rose, whatever name she prefers.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, she's been watching this Bioshock stream, and I guess we can switch into just a bit of an engaging talk about how much really this whole secular media breakdown stuff really, I think, is going to bring a lot of people to Christ, especially if they're willing to, with an open heart, look at all these different subjects being broken down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, I still feel like one of the big ones we would want to do when the time comes is Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, Star Wars is so easy to see all the biblical themes in. It's not even funny.
Right.
I mean, you've both seen Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
I'm just making sure because there have been some people who haven't. Wait, you really haven't?
No.
I've seen some movies, but not all of them.
Then that might be, I guess, enough of a reason to do this too, so that you guys can also see it. Because I think, especially as a Christian, Star Wars can also be a very powerful story too.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you guys should at least be somewhat familiar with the concept of the Force, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Force, both the Jedi and the Sith throughout the stories, they not only use it to do full-on telekinesis practically, but healing people and even somehow prophesying. And when you really think about it, it's in this story meant to be the Holy Spirit. Yet, how the Sith use it is clearly from them having deals with the unclean spirits.
Yeah. I can see that.
And due to this, that alone makes Star Wars very engaging. But the other thing that also adds to it, definitely, is the conspiracy as you see this government structure get destroyed by a bunch of false flags and whatnot, down to where this new government structure comes up as the First Galactic Empire, which, let's be real, is meant to be a example of the New World Order.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. And, Palpatine as the Antichrist, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Especially with how he looks in episode 3 and beyond. Because he looks like he might as well be the devil.
Yeah, and then, it is interesting that Mace Windu even says he's too dangerous to be left alive.
Yes. Okay, so you probably have at least seen a little bit of episode 3, which was the last of the prequels.
Yeah. And then, yeah.
And I'd say that's probably one of my personal favorites, because I grew up on the prequels. I never actually understood why people gave them such crap. To where, even with Jar Jar Binks, sure, he's obviously an annoying, comedic kind of character, but that's the thing, he's obviously meant to be an annoying character that's put there for the kids to laugh at, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, then you have, yeah, and then you have people, of course, having the Darth Jar Jar theory where he's orchestrated everything. But yeah.
I mean, I guess it would be kind of interesting if that was legit, to be fair.
Yeah.
Especially because I guess you could kind of, you could kind of compare that to how the devil and all his cohorts try to make themselves look as something completely different to people in order to get them to open up and just let them in to begin with.
Yeah.
So, to a degree, when you think about it, it is something that could be to some extent an understandable theory that people made there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That being said, though, the actual proper story from just the prequels alone, I always thought was very engaging. Especially
Yeah.
when I started to understand all the political stuff going on. Because let's be real,
Yeah.
people freaking gave the prequels so much crap just for the political unrest that was happening in the storyline. And let's be real, though, it needed to be a part of the story so that it was as thoroughly what's the word I'm looking for here? As thoroughly broken down the way it was.
Yeah.
Because how would the likes of what is supposed to basically be the New World Order come around without all the manipulation you see happen to the government structures that happened before?
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting too because when they said something about the Senate would never approve, and then Palpatine says, "I am the Senate."
Right. Because he
Yeah,
decided to take over, essentially. There was no more...
Yeah.
It's something that I definitely see is will eventually happen in the United States. Whether it's going to happen through Trump or whoever else. When it comes to Congress, it is pretty much like what Star Wars has as the Senate.
Yeah.
Where clearly it's meant to try and allow all these different groups get the ability to voice what they want to happen.
Yeah.
And due to that,
That's true.
It makes it very, very engaging just there alone, too, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Issues.
And I also have the 2D Clone Wars on DVD as well that we could add on to this breakdown. That was the old Clone Wars that was before they did the 3D CG one.
Yeah, that's the one that came on Cartoon Network as well. I saw a bit of that.
Because the old 2D one, that was actually handled by the same people who were known for Dexter's Lab and Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
And definitely Samurai Jack is going to be something worth also having a secular media breakdown for. If only because Samurai Jack is a trip in of itself, too.
Yeah.
Man, I guess I'm just trying to think of all the other things that we could add on to the breakdown list so that we at least have stuff that we can knock out as it goes on. But
yeah.
I definitely think I probably should end this stream because at least I have a good chunk of this level gone through too. And definitely I appreciate, even if it's just 5 views, I still appreciate the views. And God bless anyone who